This is not a conventional sports brand. It's a perfect early case study into why aligning your brand identity, philosophy, and brand image is so important when making your way into a big and competitive market. These things coming together are ultimately what decide a brand's success. And the brand I have for you is super exciting. Maple Movement is a sports nutrition brand that focuses on the importance of natural hydration. And without natural hydration and natural nutrition, athletes cannot succeed. That is what their brand is all about. And it all started in the craziest way. But before I tell you about that, let's get into it. Their mission at Maple Movement is simple. No additives, no preservatives, no compromise. Just maple syrup. And this simplicity is what's leading to their brand success when pointing out their mission statement. This mission statement is what's keeping them above the board with other brands that they're competing with. But we're going to get into the competitors later. And it's time to talk about their core values. And they've really said, how do you like them apples to their competitors? And while I don't have apples, this was the closest I could get. And most competitors are pretty far away from the core values that they like to push. Maple Movement, on the other hand, stick by it. And their mission statement is actually, keep it simple. No additives, no preservatives, no compromise. But what about the long-term vision here? Is it just to be another nutrition brand? Or is it to be more than that? Starting the movement was one thing, but continuing it is a whole other. They're looking to expand, not just in their own brand, but to push others to hold those same natural ideas. But why have the founders, Dan and Ella, poured their heart and soul into protecting these values so dearly? Well, Dan and Ella were both athletes before they met. And the story goes, Dan had some gut issues, and he could never get rid of them when using normal nutrition methods. So, tried maple syrup and decided that was a good idea. And it went from there. But what about their campaigns? Like, join the movement. These all came from them going, let's have other people join in on this action that we have started. So from there it went. What a crazy way to start a brand. But back to their brand identity and what makes them recognizable. Their logos. Their logos are super simple. Red and black, maple leaf, Maple Movement. It could not be simpler and more easy to understand. And that is part of their identity. That's part of their philosophy. Simplicity, no additives, nothing unnecessary. And it is consistent. And it's that consistency that gives them their brand voice, their tone, how they sound and how they appear to the world. And it's that trustworthiness of consistency between brand identity, brand values, and exactly what matters. Because they show exactly who they are and what they are at all times. And thinking of who they are, they're just a normal family, a normal couple. Now they have kids. And they show that through all of their content. It's pushed all the way through. That identity and consistency is what allows them to maintain exactly what every brand is looking for. Cohesive image. And the cohesive image that they've created has led them straight to their target audience. And no, it's not just professional athletes. It is anybody who moves. Anyone who moves is the target of this product because nutrition goes full circle. Everyone needs it, and it's just a matter of how to get it in. So why not get it in the natural way? Unfortunately, that's what all the nutrition companies are saying. Do it the natural way. Our way is natural, and not all of them are telling the truth. Their competitors have maybe similar products, but they've got added preservatives and whatever additives that are in there. And that leads us to Maple Movement's unique selling point, which is they are actually natural. They have 1 ingredient, 2 ingredient, 3 ingredient recipes, and all of those come from natural sources. Their original gels are just maple. The lemon, salt, and maple gels are just lemon, salt, and maple. And that leads us to their biggest challenge. The gel industry has a really bad reputation for tasting bad, not being good for the gut, and it's really hard to prove that what they're saying is actually true. Because of this, they have to go to extreme measures and really prove it person by person. But how well are they actually doing at combating this challenge? Well, their Instagram has over 13,000 followers, and there are people posting about their products daily. But that doesn't really say anything for them as a brand, does it? Or does it? Their success has been huge. In just 2 years, moving from nothing to something. Remember how I said earlier that they're the perfect case study for early brand development? Well, that's because they've been juggling their core values, their mission statement, and their long-term vision, all at once. And it's that consistency that allows a brand to become something. And not just something, but something in the minds of their customers. Imagine your first time encountering this brand. You're scrolling through Instagram, you head onto their page and onto their website. First thing you see, their logo, their colors, and most importantly, the founders behind the story. We're looking at the cohesivity of their brand image and brand identity. And this is just another way that they've used that to their advantage. But what do the reviews say? So far, people are loving the product. The coloring and the logo and the packaging go together really nicely, and they're really photogenic. But in terms of the movement, people are slowly getting there still. There's not a group identity yet, but there is definitely a brand identity. And at the moment, the development of that is in full swing. And by taking their philosophy and running with it, the brand has been able to take itself from being just some logos, some colors, and some words, to being someone that the consumer can trust. And it's that trust, taking their philosophy, their idea, their identity, and putting it towards the world. It's turning them from a logo to a brand. But who cares? You may not care about branding, but if you think about yourself as a person, your identity, who you think you are, is the brand identity. Who you are to the world is your brand image, and your positioning is where you are in that world. For a brand, that's really important. And that is why some brands succeed and others don't. Take note.